Hi, good evening. Welcome to Sports Today. You're live with me, Rajarshi Gupta. Sri Lanka have won the T20I series. They won the final game, the series decider of the three-match series, comprehensively by 7 wickets. It was a poor batting display from India to begin with. They managed only 81 of their 20 overs. They were, of course, not bowled out. They were 81 for 8, restricted to a paltry total, and those totals are not going to win you matches against any opposition. It was uh, uh, an all-round poor batting performance. Yes, it's important to be not very harsh, but then you look at this score line. Ruturaj Gaikwad 14, Shikhar Dhawan Golden Duck, Devdutt Padikkal 9, Sanju Samson 0, Nitish Rana 6. They were only playing with five specialist batsmen, but this score, well, it's inexplicable. But then these things happen. um, when you're going in with that notion that one of the batsmen has to bat till the end, there is pressure, then it's not very easy to bat in these conditions. It wasn't easy. Absolutely new duties there. Just these four debutants last evening. Ruturaj Gaikwad made his debut. Devdutt Padikkal made his debut. Nitish Rana made his debut. Um, but you still feel for Rahul Dravid, the coach. He had taken together a great mix of young players under Shikhar Dhawan, and he would have expected a different result in this final match of the tour, the final match of this T20I series. Because look, they won the ODI series pretty comprehensively. They tried several new faces in that final ODI. Sri Lanka got the better of them. They were again really comprehensive in that first game, the first T20I. But last night and tonight, it's just been really tough for the Indians. Of course, last night it was still more competitive. The game went to the last over. There were some runs. Shikhar Dhawan got some runs. Devdutt Padikkal, Ruturaj Gaikwad were among the runs as well. But tonight it was just the lack of experience showed. Also feel for the team. You did not have the likes of Kunal Pandya tested positive, and then the players, a total of 9 players were put in isolation. 8 others who were deemed to be in close contact with him, which meant there was no Ishan Kishan, which meant there was no Surya Kumar Yadav, no Hardik Pandya in that lineup, no Manish Pandey. It was a seriously depleted Indian team. All of that taken into account. It was a seriously depleted Indian team, and they were facing Hasaranga, who's the number two T20I bowler in the world. Still, 81 for 8. Even these young men, they would ask some questions of themselves. Shikhar Dhawan, he's been really good throughout the tour of Sri Lanka. He's led from the front. He's been very, very accurate with his captaincy. But that golden ball duck, well, I'm sure that would hurt them. It would hurt their pride in the final match of the T20 series. Again, this is, of course, not even the second. This is in a way, this is the third. This is the third tier of the Indian team, which is which did not have some of the top stars, and then even the second tier was not available for the last two games of the T20 series. Having said that, this was still an Indian team. They still went out to play with conviction, to play with pride. Nobody goes to lose, but this was this performance will hurt. This performance will raise some questions of the application at least shown. Remember, this was a T20 format. A lot of these players, in fact, most of these batsmen have played a lot of cricket in the Indian Premier League. They have played in very high pressure matches against some really quality bowling attacks over the years. Ruturaj Gaikwad and Devdutt Padikkal, of course, coming off very recently. Nitish Rana has been around for a while. Sanju Samson, things you need to really talk about Sanju Samson as well. He fell for a duck. He lasted just 3 deliveries, getting out to De Silva there, Nitish Rana coming into bat at number 5, and then immediately you had Bhuvneshwar Kumar at number 6, and of course between Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Kuldeep Yadav, India got to 81 for 8. Bhuvneshwar scoring 16, and Kuldeep Yadav was the top scorer with an unbeaten 23. So that is a reflection of what went so terribly wrong with the Indian batting lineup. Only 5 specialist batsmen, but still, is that an excuse to end up with 81 for 8 after all the IPL that these cricketers have played? Sanju Samson, he was another batsman alongside Manish Pandey. He was another batsman who would have really wanted to seize these opportunities, these sort of opportunities. But well, it's getting trickier for him because you have Rishabh Pant who's firmly established himself in the Indian team across formats. Then you have Ishan Kishan who's a serious talent. He's a wicketkeeper batsman. He's aggressive. He can bat up and down the order. He's shown his class in the IPL for several years, and now uh, coming into the Indian team against England and then against Sri Lanka, Ishan Kishan has really stood out with his gutsy batting. And there's also Surya Kumar Yadav in that middle order who's been brilliant. He got some runs in the first T20I as well, but unfortunately could not be the last two. Again, to reiterate, India were seriously depleted. They were without Krunal Pandya, who tested positive, Hardik Pandya. They were without Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan. You take all these players out of the mix, and that leaves serious holes in that side. Well, Sri Lanka, credit to them, they were just brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. Hasaranga was the pick of the bowlers, 4 for 9. Undoubtedly, he'll be the man of the match for his efforts. He was brilliant again, just outfoxed the Indian batting lineup, and richly deserved those figures, richly deserved those bowling figures of 4 for 9 of 4 overs. In Sri Lanka lost 3 wickets, and all 3 wickets fell to Rahul Chahar. He'd be very happy with his performances in the last couple of nights. Rahul Chahar 3 for 15 of 4 overs was easily the pick of the Indian bowlers, but it's what it is. India have gone down in that series. It was a bit of a nightmarish batting performance. Really, it was it was you feel for Rahul Dravid who's been so widely respected, and he would have wanted to end the series on a high. He he's done a commendable job. He's done a commendable job with Indian cricketers over the years in the junior stages, and he wouldn't have been very happy to see what unfolded tonight in Colombo in that final T20I. Some of these guys have trained under him. Some of these guys have nurtured them. It wasn't happy sightings. It wasn't happy sightings. Again, to reiterate, Sanju Samson, he really need to think long and hard about how he is going with his game when it comes to playing for India. It's just missing opportunities after opportunities. And you've seen that in the IPL as well. Lack of consistency from Sanju Samson is going to only put him further away from the main fray of the Indian team. So that's how it has turned out to be for him. Saranga, by the way, for Sri Lanka, is just been a standout performer in this match, and probably he might even end up bagging the Man of the Series award. Which the awards have not been announced yet, of course, but should be very soon. So this was a good evening for Sri Lanka, wasn't it? They lost the last 5 T20I series, and they've now come back with a 2-1 series win. 2-1 series win against the Indians, who had won 8 successive T20I series before this one got underway. 8 successive. So, but again, that was a different team altogether, with different players. You did not have Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami. All of these guys were, of course, not around. And even, like I said, the second stream of players, Surya, Ishan Kishan, Pandya brothers, they were without all of them in these 2 games. Again, important to be not very harsh, not overtly harsh. They barely had 11 players available to take the field in the last couple of games. Well, that's what it is. India have won down in that series. Good congratulations to Sri Lanka. Just very good cricket for the last 2 nights. I'll take a quick couple of questions here. Easy peasy is asking, but still these guys have played IPL and have good exposure. They were and he's calling them flat pitch bullies. Look, I don't agree with that. I agree with the first part of your statement. As you say that a lot of these cricketers have had a lot of IPL exposure. Flat pitch bullies, I wouldn't agree with that, because the IPL is played across venues in different conditions in India. When you go to Chennai, there is always some assistance for spinners. You go to Mumbai, there are different conditions. Bangalore is always very high scoring. So most of these players have scored runs all around the country. And someone like Ruturaj Gaikwad or Devdutt Padikkal, for instance, very new to the IPL, very new to high format, highly competitive cricket. They will learn and they will get better. But I wouldn't call them flat pitch bullies. A lot of cricketers, Indian cricket, especially Asian cricketers, have been called flat pitch bullies, but they've shown their class and their temperament when they've travelled outside of the subcontinent. Now, Bonita Ghosh, is this a poor performance from the Indian batting order, of course, it's a poor performance from the Indian batting order. When you score 81 for 8 of 20 overs in any conditions, in any condition against any bowling lineup, that's definitely a poor batting performance. And questions should be asked of the lack of temperament from some of these batsmen. More specifically, Sanju Samson, who's no spring chicken, who's no rookie. He's been around for a while. He's had several opportunities, and these were important opportunities. Remember how Surya Kumar Yadav grabbed them. Remember how Ishan Kishan grabbed his opportunities. So Sanju Samson's performances, they are worrying and they are disconcerting because you want someone like Sanju Samson. We know he has that talent, he has the skill set, but is it a question of temperament then, where he should have definitely seized on to these moments and really made a case for himself. Atri Mahapatra, should Samson be replaced? Well, replaced with who? This he was only playing because of the formation of the squad in Sri Lanka. If you look at the wicketkeeper batsman, Rishabh Pant firmly as the number one wicketkeeper for India across formats. Ishan Kishan is making a very very strong case to be the number two wicketkeeper batsman, maybe even play as a pure batsman in the T20I format. Who knows? And you'll be very surprised if he if he's not considered at least for the T20 World Cup, along with Surya Kumar Yadav. These are very, very serious talents. And of course, Prithvi Shaw. Remember, Prithvi Shaw also did not play the last two games, having been isolated after being in close contact with Kunal Pandya, who turned positive, who turned up positive for COVID-19. KL Rahul, Vardhan Sharma saying is far, far better than overrated 2 IPL run scorers. Overhyped, overrated. Old Shikhar Dhawan. Again, very harsh, Vardhan. With due respect, Shikhar Dhawan has been a champion cricketer for India over the years across formats. Across formats. Remember his sensational Test debut against Australia. He's just been a complete team man. Over the last few years, he felt his strike rate was dipping. But then again, this is the beginning of this year, maybe sometime last year, you've seen him making a very, very determined effort to come back and score those quick runs. He's been a champion player for India, for Delhi Capitals, and for every IPL team he has represented. He's just again, it's really unfair to be so harsh on these cricketers who've done well for so many years. KL Rahul, yes, undoubtedly, he's such a terrific talent. He's such a great talent, and we hope that if he gets these opportunities to bat in the Test series in England, he'll make the most of it. He's just superb. He's in ODIs and T20Is. He's just been absolutely brilliant, and what a performer he has been for teams for Punjab in the IPL over the last couple of seasons. I mean, absolutely, I agree with that point where you sit here around is a class batsman. He is. B Boy is saying Nitish Rana has been disappointing in the T20 and well, he's been disappointing. Nitish Rana should have, you would have expected a lot more from Nitish Rana. Bhupendra Singh Chauhan, not a problem, but the series is disappointing for Shikhar because he was trying to come back in the senior side. Um, Look, it's a little tricky at this stage with Shikhar Dhawan. Yes, he would have wanted to score a lot more runs, maybe even a big 100 in the first or the second game somewhere. He would have wanted to really assert himself. And um, now looking at that ODI or the T20I mix there, alongside Rohit Sharma, you have KL Rahul, who's obviously batting down the order. But Prithvi Shaw, he could have made a strong case. He scored a quick couple of, he had a quick couple of innings. He got out in the 40s, but he showed that aggression. He showed that talent and the temperament to score quick runs. He just needs to sit in there, get in there, and bat longer. So that's another very very good batsman coming up the ranks. Prithvi Shaw has been around for a while. He made his Test debut about a couple of years back, 3 years back. Got off to a very very good start. His The way he batted in the first test in Australia was disappointing. He came back home, worked on his game, and now looks much better player after rectifying his flaws and correcting them. So we'll have to really see how that mix goes along with Rohit Sharma. Will Virat Kohli open with Rohit Sharma in the T20 World Cup? That is a possibility. Virat has shown the skills. Of course, he's such a best batsman in the world. Will he open alongside Rohit Sharma? Well, that remains to be seen. But then we have some options there as well. KL Rahul to open alongside Rohit Sharma. And their immediate focus will be on the T20s, of course. in the months to come, because the T20 World Cup is right around the corner. Of course, before that we'll take the IPL, so a lot of them would have got valuable T20 practice. So that's that. Well, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you with more. Unfortunately, out of time. We'll of course be back with you tomorrow for more on the Olympic coverage. Boria is in Tokyo, bringing you the latest from the Olympics 2020, and of course you've seen his exclusive interviews, breaking news, and a lot of analysis from the Tokyo Olympics. It's a very important day for India as we head into Friday, day 7 of the Tokyo Games. So do stay tuned. Do stay tuned to Sports Today. Subscribe to the channel. Please do subscribe to the channel and keep supporting this platform. We promise to deliver the very best for you from sports from the world over. Thank you so much and have a very good day.